So this is a best of 5. I think Eerie's probably favored, but let's see if Oranges is able to take a couple games off him or make him sweat. It's going to resign to reduce some lag for these guys. So on our south plateau here in the color red, we have Oranges. And then I guess in the east side plateau in the color blue, we have Eery playing as the Babylons. And right off the bat we can see Oranges dropping that storehouse on berries, researching picker's gloves. Eery on the other hand using that mobile ox cart to gather wood, and he's dropping down an early racks. So he's gonna try and do a little bit of a spearman rush. Oranges, wisely enough, actually scouting out Eerie's base with it pretty early here, and is going to see this barracks. And let's see how he reacts. You don't really expect a spearman rush on Arabia. Of course, it's the biggest map in the map pool. So Oranges responds, throws 3 villagers on wood, but he did build a second storehouse, so it's going to take him a while to get 200 to build his own barracks. Eery saw that Oranges scouted this barracks, so let's see if he still decides to make some spearmen, which he does. And he's already rallied it forward. Instead of making a barracks, Oranges has decided to get a tent, which might not be a bad idea. Could always retreat his villagers to the town center if he needed to. Don't know why he's making us this storehouse though. Guess he's just gonna try and defend with town center fire. Eery is still making spearmen. That's the 3rd one. Oranges is doing a good job with the scout, trying to do as much damage as he can before it gets here. The spearmen. I think Oranges might be taking a big risk here, just going for that second town center build. There's 2 spearmen here and Eerie's scout. Oranges is doing a good job of distracting him though, buying himself a lot of time. So he's ran out of gold, so no more spearmen will be coming. So only got the 4 here. He will be denying this wood storehouse, which is very annoying. Orange is clicking up to the Bronze Age. Yeah, there's not much else these spearmen will probably do, so Eery's just gonna retreat for now. You can see the A tent healed Orange's scout all the way back to full HP, so he can go in and do more damage. You see the ziggurat coming down for Eery. Is gathering stone as well, but only has 2 villagers. So his second town center is gonna be a little slower. Oranges is forced to long distance gather from these trees, trying to save up that 300 that's needed for his second town center. So he's the Bronze Age right away, queuing up that handsaw, and yeah, he's dropping this town center very defensively, almost right beside his other one. Spearman and Eery coming back. I think he was hoping Oranges would have rebuilt that storehouse on his wood line. Oranges did a good job at manually telling his town center to shoot at those spearmen. Get some extra DPS in. So Eery just needs a little more wood, and he'll have the resources for his town center. And it looks like he's gonna be setting himself up more for the late game. He'll be building probably on this berry bush, I'd assume. Or he might try to go here where this gold mine is. Yeah, that looks like what he's trying to do. He's gonna put it right in the middle of this gold mine and berry bush. We see an archery range actually coming out for oranges. Just wants to deal with these spearmen. So one thing Babylon has going for them is that mobile ox cart. Eery's actually able to gather from these hunts out in the middle of the map here. Just a good boost to his food economy. Just finished handsaw. He's also getting pickaxe. So there's no need for him to really get that picker's gloves yet. He's on hunts. Ooh, Eery. Very wise. Has his spearman guarding this berry bush. He knows the ones in Orange's base will be running out soon. Lucky for Oranges though, he decides to go to these berry bushes. And he's bringing in his first bowman. So Eery's gonna scout it. This bowman will take care of the spearman real fast. And we see a stables coming down for Eery. Throwing down 3 gardens in a very safe location, as far back as he can. Let's have a look at the villagers. 29 villagers for Eery to the 34 of Oranges. So the second town center placement will benefit Eery in the long run, but it did make him fall behind on some villagers early on. You see a stable coming down for Oranges. Expecting to see a lot of cav on in this game because of the big map size. And Eery's starting to make some lancers. So yeah, I think Eery's fine with just sacrificing these spearmen for now, just keeping an eye on these berry bushes. We see our first lancer coming across the battlefield here. And we see a second stables for Eery. It's getting pharmacology. Gives all units on the Babylon army 1 health regen per second. Neither player on the way to the Silver Age yet. Of course, both these civs have access to mounted archers. See three lancers coming in here. This one Asabar is being healed by A10, but he is really outnumbered here. Oranges does a good job there at pulling it back. But Eery, oh, he was able to pick off 1 villager. But then the reinforcements of Oranges is going to scare these lancers away. Eery's going to have to watch this. Actually deciding to fight here. See, 2 more stables being dropped down for Oranges. It's getting loom. You see a 3rd stables for Eery coming out, so lots of cavalry. Neither player has made any walls yet. Orange is floating quite a bit of food, so he's moved some villagers back onto stone. And there's his Silver Age in queue. Got 16 Lancers for Eery, and he's on the way to the Silver Age as well. So Orange is gonna have to be careful with his villagers over here. His army's looking a little small compared to this big cavalry mass from Eery. I don't think these 7 bowmen are going to be able to defend this position. Eery spots this, but these bowmen are just going to get surrounded. He's bringing 8 Asavara, but again, he's still outnumbered. Eery could probably fight this if he wants to. I think he decides to pull back though. He's about to get Silver Age, so he wants to get that champion upgrade before he really commits to a big fight. See an armory coming down for Eery. Both players in Silver Age. Orange is throwing down his 3rd town center right away. See where Eery decides to put his town center. Still needs a little bit more stone and wood. And there's his Lancer champion in queue. Orange is right away training some mounted archers. Help him deal with this Lancer mass from Eery. He's getting his 3rd age storehouse upgrades, pole saw, placer mining. So he does have 2 mounted archers here, but there's just so many Lancers. I do not think this is a fight Orange can take right now. Yeah, now Lancer champions finish for Eery. He doesn't want to fight those mounted archers. 4 now looks like they can like 2 shots, so he's gonna have to be careful. No wheelbarrow yet for Oranges. And we only see 4 gardens at Eery, but he's right away dropping an early market line, which is very nice. The sooner you can get that market line going on this map, the better. Orange is deciding to drop down a fortress in this position. Cover this opening to his plateau. 2 groups of Lancers for Eery. This gold mine only guarded by some bowmen. Eery's starting to make some of his own mounted archers. Enough mounted archers here to scare the Lancers of Eery away. He's probably tempted to try and deny that fortress. Meanwhile, on the other side here, Eery looks like he's going to pick off another villager. Get a 2nd. Orange just did a good job at garrisoning those villagers into his town center. Only lost 1. I think he's doing a smart move at trying to I guess chop this whole forest to make his market route a little easier and efficient. He is making a lot of houses here though. Hopefully that doesn't cause pathing issues in the future. Look at this big army from Eery. 24 Lancers, 10 mounted archers. There's 15 mounted archers of Oranges, so he doesn't have much of a meat shield here. Where's all the Asavara? He's doing a good job at kiting, but of course these Lancer champions have that charge bonus. Allows them to close that gap really quick. Orange is actually scaring away the army of Eery for now. Both players sitting around the same population. 91 villagers for Oranges to the 90 of Eery, so the game is pretty close. Orange is working on his armory upgrades. He did get barbed arrows. Now he's working on a scale mail. pretty good upgrade choice for what Eery's making. Eery is researching purebreds. No purebred yet for oranges. He is finishing his clay wall here. Still don't see a market out of him though. There we go, we got another little skirmish center of the map here. Both players just trying to pick off as many units with their mounted archers as they can. Eery is definitely getting the better end here though, thanks to these lancers. Hello Adrian Monk, how are you? So more stables coming down, more archery ranges for oranges. Just stables for Eery is making those additional gardens. Get all these upgrades in queue for Eery. Cultivation. Ooh, kind of nice micro there by oranges, flanking with his bowman. Gonna get some extra shots in. Fortunately, I think they all focused on that scout. So it's 24 mounted archers to the 23. So oranges does have one more, but there is some lancers here. Once these upgrades finish for Eery, orange's mounted archers are gonna get cleaned up, I think. Slightly out-teched. He is getting broadhead arrows too, but Eery's is gonna finish sooner. He's sitting at 17 to the 24, yeah. Orange's is gonna have to get out of there. Oh, he could spot this gold miners of Eery. One thing that's really good, if you can snipe that ox cart of Babylon, then these villagers are forced to walk all the way back home. We see some proxy siege workshops here and 3 siege towers coming forward for Eery. Oranges hasn't scouted this yet. And both players kind of passing each other with their mounted archers. There you go, we see Eery is on the way to the golden age, but these rams quickly making their way through these walls. And I don't think oranges has spotted it yet. All his focus is up here. Oh, very nice. He's made some Takabar to try and counter these mounted archers of Eery. Yeah, oranges still hasn't spotted these siege towers. Now he does. He's gonna pull his villagers, try and destroy them. Villagers. Lucky for him, these markets aren't really built yet, so there's nothing these siege towers can really destroy. Oh, you see some actual guard towers in the middle of the map here trying to defend this gold mine for Eery. Looks like oranges is kind of having a gold crisis. Eery did reach the golden age though. Lots of resources in the bank for oranges. He's got 50 villagers on wood. I think he needs to adjust his economy here. He's making some Asabar to try and kill these siege towers. Did he build a market? I think he must have built a market at home. There he goes. He sold some gold so he can go on to the golden age as well. Does have that war academy. We have a big battle here in the front door of oranges. Don't know if Eery will have enough to end the game. He's making some war chariots. A war chariot champion. Wow. Bonus damage for siege. Crush armor. He's also getting vodka arrows, so his range units are going to be super strong. Nothing sneaky though coming out of Orange's. No proxy siege workshops of his own. Eery's still making some siege towers. Siege tower champion. Looks like Orange's has forgot to build these markets. Still doesn't have a market line. So once this gold mine dries up, he's not going to have any gold income. Right away though, is researching that mounted archer champion. There's 2 war chariot champions here. Of course they counter the mounted archers, but there's Orange's does have 31. Now Orange is just sticking to the range units. He's not going to have any counter for these war chariots. You see a forward fortress coming down for Eery. You know we're going to see that Palantonin start raining fire down on these buildings. Yeah, these war chariots doing massive damage to these range units. Looks like they almost one-shot them. I'm just going to have to make some more Asabara. Maybe some war wagons help them. Well, no, these guys have bonus for siege, I guess, so that wouldn't work. These war chariots, just super strong units. Eery is under 3 town center fire here. Doesn't really care, he's just like one-shotting all the units of Orange's. So, just finally made his market. Doesn't quite have an answer for this army of Eery. Yeah, no co-caster today. Couldn't get a hold of Mr. Nightblood. Oh, and here's the siege towers for Eery. Does knock down that fortress. And he's gonna go. He sees the caravan, so he's gonna go back and destroy this market. Here's the first Palantonin for Eery. He's gonna start destroying these production facilities of Orange's. Yeah, see, he is having that gold crisis now. Waited too long to set up his market line. He's making some cataphracts. I don't know what unit Persia can really make to fight these war chariots. I think he needs to go pure Asabara. It's probably the only option. Not looking good for Oranges here. So Asabara dealt with the siege towers, didn't lose his market. And Orange's first called a GG there. Very good, powerful army there from Eery. Nothing you could do. GG. Look at our post-game stats here. So Eery's about 9,000 resources ahead. That double the gold. 10 more techs. And Oranges have chosen Great Lake for the next map. Both players did a very good job on their villager production. Fairly even. Oranges actually did have the military pop around the 15-minute mark. But then as soon as Eery hit that age 4 and got those war chariots, wasn't much he could do. Just want to see if Eery had all his gardens. Didn't get the H4 upgrade. 9 gardens for him. We got a couple more. Okay. Good game. Update the score. Next map is going to be Great Lake. Just waiting for Eery to get back in here. This looks like Oranges has chosen Norse. Eery on the other hand has chosen Persia. What are you guys saying? Because Orange is going to be able to even the series? Let's see if he has a strategy in mind for Great Lake with his Norse. Definitely expecting to see some sort of naval battle in the early stages of the game. Okay, so in the west of the map, in the color blue, we have Eery playing as the Persians. And in the east, in the color red, we have Oranges playing as the Norse. Gotta like his city name there. Can't beat that. So right away, both players dropping that storehouse on a hunt this game. It's kind of nice too because they have a couple trees close by, so they could gather from those and avoid building that second storehouse early on. Eery does have 3 starting villagers on these close trees, so let's see what he's gonna do with his 200 wood. Just decide to drop that barracks over a dock. Once again, Orange is doing a good job scouting this barracks early. One thing the Norse have is this 2 scouts. One's a melee scout, one's a ranged. I think they're supposed to be brothers. So he sees this barracks right away. Let's see how he responds. So we see the barracks coming down for Oranges. Of course, this melee scout of Norse is able to also build a barracks. So that barracks will go up pretty quick. You see the first Sparbara being trained for Eery. Right away marching him across the map here. Doing a good job with the scout, bringing it early in to see where he can probably attack. He's gonna scout out this hunting location of Oranges. So I'm sure this is where this Sparbara are gonna be headed. Also scouting out the woodline storehouse. So these Sparbara do have a ton of pierce armor. 0.5, so it's very hard for these town centers to actually kill them. You're definitely going to be looking to either pick off a couple villagers or even just deny a single storehouse. It's pretty strong in the early stages of the game. first Norse spearman for Oranges. Just say that's a pretty cool helmet this guy's rocking. Wonder which one that is. So Oranges is outnumbered, 4 Sparbar to the 3 Spearmen. Does have his range scout here though. I think he's trying to lure these Sparbar into town center range, but he's actually hit the Bronze Age pretty quick here. He's able to make some throwing axemen. So there's not much these Sparbar are going to be able to do from this point on, once the throwing axemen numbers get higher. Of course, the throwing axemen counter infantry. So no docks yet for either player. And it looks like Eery is retreating with his army. Meanwhile, he's clicked up to the Bronze Age. Orange is starting to gather some stone. Eery, on the other hand, a little bit of ahead of him. Already has 200 in the bank. So both players are going to be looking to build that second town center pretty quick. See, Hansa already researched for Oranges. Sparbar taking out a couple wolves on Orange's side of the map. You just see the one barracks. Ooh, Oranges unfortunately loses 1 spearman to that boar. Went down fighting. Does have the resources for his second town center. Ooh, this timing. These Sparbar just moved out of oh no, Eery must have saw it. He's gonna go and try and deny the second town center. He's going for the villagers. Oh no, he's focusing down the town center. It's gonna be so close. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get it. He's gonna try and get another villager kill. Ooh, that would have been terrible for Oranges if that town center went down. So Eery actually got to the Bronze Age last, but his town center is already up. Second town center. Both players doing a good job continually just scouting the coast here. Make sure there's no hidden docks going up. We see the stables being dropped down for Eery. So Great Lake is probably the second largest map in the map pool. It's a good mix of land and water. So it's always a smart idea to build some cav. And then we also see an archery range coming for Eery, so he's going with the 1-1-1 build. No other military buildings for Oranges at the moment. Expecting him to throw down some stables though. Raiders are pretty good now, especially in this matchup. Now that they've received that Pierce armor upgrade. And here's a dot coming down for Eery. No dock for Mr. Oranges. And Eery right away making some fishing boats. And he got good job throwing down some watch posts in the south of the map here. Make sure he spots that army coming as soon as possible. So One cool dynamic of the Norse Civ is their infantry is able to build barracks and other military buildings. So we see some units here helping this villager build this stable. Have a look at the villager population. 39 for Eery to 38 of Oranges. So players are pretty close. Looks like Oranges right away is going to be destroying this watch post. Might also be able to pick off Eery's scout here. Yeah, Eery did not notice that, but he is rallying forward some Astabara. More barracks coming down for Oranges. Eery is getting that net lures upgrade. Only one spearman here though for Oranges, so he's gonna have to be careful. It does counter cav, but there's still 5 versus 1. Meanwhile, we'll see the dock for Oranges coming down. Still hasn't made any units. He's gonna make that lawn ship. So Eery running past with his cav. Does notice it's gonna be able to kill this villager. But I do not think he's gonna. Oh, he might actually get this dock down before this lawn ship can come out. Right away though, Eery queuing up a galley. Oh, Orange is being smart right away. He's just trying to. He knows there's fishing boats out here for Eery. Wants to try and pick off a couple though before this galley pops out. His fishing ships are actually choosing to attack the launch ship of Oranges. Oranges just sniped one, but his launch ship's already almost dead. Nice little micro there by Oranges. Able to pick off that second fishing ship. Ooh, 2 HP. Is he gonna get it? Oranges, very nice micro, able to pick off all the fishing ships. You see a little war dog raid going on. Where's this watch post at? Was able to pick off one villager. Yeah, the town centers are able to clean that up. So here's that watch post. So that's always cool seeing some war dogs. Eery, on the other hand, is on the way to the Silver Age. Oranges just needs a little bit more food and he can go up as well. So he does have a lot of spearmen here, but there is some bowmen for Eery. Looks like these Asabar are flanking around. Gonna be able to pick off a couple of villagers here. Trying to build those lawn houses. Oranges is pulling all his spearmen and raiders here. These Asabar are gonna have to be careful. Don't want to get snared. Is on the way to the Silver Age also. He needs to regroup his army. He might be able to fight this. Don't lose all your spearmen. And he's gonna have to be careful here. He is catching all the Asabara, but doesn't want to fight these bowmen here. Where's the raiders? Looks like Oranges was trying to go make an attack of his own. No champion upgrades yet for Eery. Just throwing down a couple of mortal camps. Don't see any armory yet for him. Oh, there you go. Just building it now. Orange is throwing down 2 armories. He was able to destroy Orange's dock. So he was able to remake those fishing ships. It actually has a couple docks up in the north here. There we go, we have a big army pushing in for Eery. Orange does have a big army also. Should be able to defend this with defender's advantage. Gets his reinforcements quicker. Throwing down that third town center. Still no third town center for Eery. Throwing down another immortal camp, another stable. Orange is actually building a lot of barracks. I don't think that's gonna... He's not gonna like that idea once he sees all these immortals. He needs to start getting some bowmen of his own. Very nice. He's making some horsemen though to counter these Asabara. 13 Asabara to the 18 raiders. So Asabara are a little bit stronger, but there's a lot more raiders here. Of course, raiders are one population, while Asabara are two. And here's some horsemen for Oranges. So these Asabara are forced to run away. Oh, if he had some war dogs here, he could have snared these 5 Asabara. Looks like Eery was just trying to distract Oranges. His range and infantry here, trying to poke in from the other side. This looks like this is Orange's last gold mine. Once that dries up, he's gonna have to think of another way to get gold. Eery's trying to pin him in here. Still no market yet from both players. Nice little raid potential here for Eery. Oranges does have a couple horsemen though. Eery able to pick off one villager, gets a second, get a third. 3 villagers. Pretty good trade. Those Asabara only had like half HP. So we see shield rim coming out for Oranges. Wow, you're doing a good job on his upgrades. Already got barbed arrows, got scale mail. Now he's working on temper. His army's coming forward again. Oranges is actually making some defensive guard towers. He's got a lot of wood and a lot of gold. He'd really benefit from making some archery ranges and getting some bowmen. Maybe he can make a, what is it, a temple or a great hall. Get some rhapsodes out. He's got a big army. He just keeps fighting in these awkward locations where these range units are able to just get a bunch of free shots, and he's losing some units for free here. So he does have this guard tower. I think that's gonna scare Eery away. Doesn't want to get in range of those. So Eery doing a good job, starting to build some walls, close off his side of the map. A ton of upgrades in queue. Do see some bowmen being researched for, or being trained for Oranges. So we're down a 3rd armory. I don't think that's necessary. He's got 2 up there, not really researching anything, but here we go. We have our biggest fight of the game so far. Oranges actually doing a good job at kind of flanking with his cavalry, but there's so many range units here. And Eery has way more armory upgrades. You can see in this fight, he's kind of just decimating Orange's army. Look at how quickly his population fell. Most of this army though is ranged units, so it's gonna be hard for Eery to knock down this town center. It's got 14 immortals. Orange is actually making some berserkers. That's where all his gold bank went. I don't know if that's the right unit to make for this composition of Eery. He's making some rams as well. Loving that proxy siege workshop. Oh yes, thank you. Give you anxiety. I'll change it after this. It is a best of 5. I'm still in the group stages here. So more guard towers coming down for Oranges. Knows he has to defend this position. Actually, he cleaned up that gold real quick. So he is gathering from here undefended. See a couple battering rams coming in the back here. Might be able to pick up these armories. Those are juicy targets. Of course, Eery doesn't know that they're researching something. Lucky for Oranges, it's this back one. He might be able to bring down these rams before they get to it. Ooh, it's close. He definitely wants that shield trust upgrade. He's making some skirmishers. Try and counter these ranged units. There's more immortals in this army than there is bowmen. These berserkers are actually able to get on top of these immortals. Lots of splash damage. Man, those immortals are just so strong for Persia in this matchup. More and more rams coming in for Eery. Just making some hard jar. Look how quickly these battering rams bring down these guard towers. $85 villagers to the 86, so villagers are still quite even. Eery looks like he's struggling for some gold here. Does have some markets set up though, so once he gets more caravans though, that should be fixed in no time. Lots of guard towers for Oranges. It's really making Eery uncomfortable. He doesn't really want to push into these locations because of this extra DPS from these guard towers. Again, he's just trying to distract the main force of Oranges so that these battering rams can come in and get some free shots in. Lucky Oranges does have these raiders in position though. Kill these battering rams pretty quick. Oranges might be able to flank. Well, he decides to turn back with those raiders. Yeah, he's desperately looking for gold. He can almost actually go to the golden age. Eery, on the other hand, is going to the golden age. Where's his armory? I think he's got full silver age armory techs. So does Orange. So both players doing a really good job with their upgrades. Still doesn't have plow though. I think that's an oversight for Oranges. Does have a lot of farms here. He is sitting at 2k food, but you definitely want to get that plow upgrade if you're going to be farming. Eery did get it, but he's still missing irrigation. Let's see how many fishing ships he has. Only a couple. He did get the net lures upgrade and the what is it, weights, or the second upgrade for them. I think he still has this galley. He's probably forgotten about it. Same with the Sparbara. Do you see this fortress kind of coming out here protecting this gold mine, which is technically on Orange's side of the map. Eery dropping his 4th town center here as well. He's getting Immortal Champion. Orange's did just finish Skirmisher Champion. So once again, Orange is just taking a while to build up his market line. He's floating a lot of resources, just needs a little bit more stone and he can go to the Golden Age too. I'd like to see a great haul from him, get some Rhapsodes. He's got a big ranged mass here. If Eery were to make some war wagons, it'd completely destroy this army. So the raiders actually get through this wall pretty quick. Eery tried to respond with some villagers and repair. Oh, what's he doing? Orange is actually retreating with his army. I guess he figures he needs to have his raiders here in this fight. It's probably the right call. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. So looks like we do have that big fight going on here. It's Palantonen of Eery able to actually destroy these guard towers. When we actually see some mangonel galleys for Eery, they're actually raining a ton of DPS down on this ranged ball of Oranges. Orange is actually making a launch ship. I think he would maybe choose to make a fire ship to try and destroy these. It's not every day though you gotta see some mangonel galleys. There you go, Orange is making some fire ships now. He's throwing 2 fortresses down on the south side of the map here. This is what Purge is so good at. They have that big Immortal Champion mass protecting this Palantonen. Makes it really hard for other armies to get in on top of the siege units to try and take them out. Here you go, they're going to be starting to knock down this town center. So Orange just did get to the Golden Age. Looks like he's trying to make some log throwers. He's gonna have to find an answer for these Palantonen real quick though. He's gonna be losing a lot of buildings the longer he waits. When this guard tower can get out, that'll be quite annoying for Eery to deal with. A lot of his caravans will be picked off. Some ram ships also for Eery coming out. So much action this game. Villagers 88 to the 73. So Eery is 15 villagers ahead. Looks like he's made a lot more mounted archers to try and deal with these raiders. Oranges. Orange just has a lot of resources in the bank. I think these Palantonen are starting to knock off a couple lawn houses too. Just these range units of Eery. Oh, nice volleys from those log throwers, able to take out that Palantonen. Eery pulling some Asabar though, trying to take these out. Orange just can't afford to have these guys die. Trying to make some bowmen. I think he's running out of protection buildings though. Oranges calls the GG. Wow, good game. The stats here. $50,000 resource lead for Eery this game. Techs were a lot closer. Yeah, both players were really on top of their upgrades. Actually looks like Eery chose to stop around 90 villagers, which is kind of typical, I guess. And he slowly dwindled down the villager count of Oranges. So yeah, if Oranges was able to hold here, he was set up to really hurt Eery's economy here if he was able to destroy those market lines. Yeah, I think that's one thing Oranges is just forgetting to do. He doesn't make any caravans of his own. Let's just see the army upgrades quickly. So yeah, Eery was almost done all his upgrades. Was also making cataphracts. Good game. Let's take the score. So this is a best of 5. This could potentially be the last game. Hopefully Oranges can stay alive. So Eery's asking for a 3-minute break. Players are actually talking here. They both want to play Bandit Canyon. That'll be interesting. 5 restarts. Okay, so both players are just gonna choose their civs. Ooh, this will be a good one. I'm very disappointed. Orange has let my people down. Nah, he played well. Eery just played a little bit better. I think that was very cool that Eery pulled out those Magnagle galleys. So we have a Norse versus Greek on Bandit Canyon for this third game. Haven't seen Eery play Norse in a long time. What are you guys' predictions? Orange is going to be able to take this game? Well, Norse do have bowmen. It's just I don't think Oranges was able to get up a big enough mass though. Both units have the same range. Eery just microed his army really well. Didn't fully commit. Was fighting in good spots. Oranges did have a lot of cav, but it was hard for them to get the surface area on the army of Eery. So let's just... So here we go. First game. Or no, not first game. Third game here is Bandit Canyon. Looks like we got the kind of the side entrance spawn. It's going to be a little bit of a longer distance if these players decide to rush instead of having the entrances in the front and back. They're kind of on the sides here, so actually increases the walking distance quite a bit. Guess I should get rid of this guy so you guys have more screen to look at. So nothing out of the ordinary coming out yet. We see storehouse on berries with picker gloves for oranges. Eery is gathering that extra wood, so like we've seen in the past 2 games, he's probably going to be going for that quick barracks even on this map spawn. Kind of interesting. Yeah, there we go. See the barracks coming down. Oranges once again does a good job though at scouting it. See how he reacts. Really kind of interesting. The wood line for both these players is kind of spawning in the front, so players might be able to make some guard towers here on the bottom cliff, just trying to pester the villagers of their opponent. Couple trees here for oranges. Guess Eery did get a little bit bigger of a forest there. Yeah, I'm not gonna be surprised, especially with Norse. I know it's gotta be going through Eery's head like, hey, there's his wood line. It's gonna be pretty easy for that Norse infantry to throw down a couple guard towers here. We do see the barracks being built by 3 villagers for oranges. Spearmen are coming across here for Eery. Has scouted out this hunt. And he knows that oranges is not on that, so it's gonna be hard for these spearmen to really get much done. Might be able to sneak along this wood line and obviously poke away at these wood gatherers for oranges. Maybe destroy that storehouse. It's not quite in range of that town center. Let's see, so here's the second spearman. Here he is actually getting picker's gloves. Starting to build that storehouse on stone. So here we go, oranges. I mean, Eery did scout the berry villagers for oranges. See if he decides to go in here with these spearmen or not. May just choose to retreat, go home. Oranges just scout these 4 spearmen. So orange is already in the Bronze Age. Eery just starting to get up now. Yeah, so oranges is making a pacifice now, so these spearmen are really not going to be able to get much done if they decide to come in here. Only 1 villager on stone though for oranges, so his second town center is going to be really late. I don't know if he's just really worried about those spearmen of Eery's, or he expected a more all-in rush. Yeah, four villagers on stone for Eery, so he's gonna get his second town center way quicker. You see an archery range coming up for oranges. Oh, never mind, no second town center. As expected, we do see some guard towers here. But yeah, oranges does scout it. These 2 pacifists were able to deny that pretty quick and scare away these spearmen. So nice scouting job for oranges. That could have almost been a disaster if that tower was able to get up. Yeah, interesting tower location from Eery. Oranges once again does spot it. He's gonna be able to deny this again. You see some war dogs. The throwing axemen coming for Eery. Oranges right away trying to focus down that throwing axeman. Knows that's the real unit that can only do damage to his army right now. So these pacifists actually do have 1 more speed than throwing axemen, so they're able to catch up to them. Looks like Eery might actually be able to get this tower up. It won't serve an immediate, I guess, purpose until I guess the villagers of Oranges start gathering over here. But it's always nice to have a little bit of a fallback point for his army if he needs to. Well, this is actually a pretty smart play from Oranges if he's able to get this town center up. Securing himself a second gold mine and also another wood line if he needs to retreat from here. Like we do see the second guard tower coming out for Eery. It's gonna force these villagers to run away. Eery just getting handsaw now. Orange is doing a good job of getting that handsaw upgrade right away. Just making some spearmen, paspis, and toxotes. We have a little bit of a raiding party here for Eery. Doesn't have a lot of throwing accidents, so he's probably gonna win this fight. Orange is just trying to buy his villagers time so that he can get this second town center up. Look how much these war dogs are slowing the army of Oranges down. But he will get the second town center up just in time. Units throwing down their lives for their country. We see a forward barracks actually being dropped for Eery. Looks like he's choosing to stick with the infantry mass. Also making some more war dogs. Throwing down even another guard tower. So Eery definitely had this plan in his mind when he agreed to play this map. So Orange is moving all his wood villagers to the second wood line. Gonna have to make sure he doesn't get a guard tower built here as well. Look how Eery's using his war dogs here to try and scout all the hunting locations. Does see all these villagers coming here. So right away he's responding, moving his army. Ooh, Orange just does not have any military units. He's gonna scout this with his scout. Yeah, he's gonna react with his villagers here. Villager count is 32 to 31. Yeah, Oranges is just really hurting for food. Used up his berry bushes. Actually has no food gatherers right now. I don't think he scouted this berry bush. And here we go. This guard tower coming forward for Oranges. For Eery. Oranges just see it is trying to shoot at it with his town center. He has to try and deny this before this gets up. This guard tower is going to do a ton of damage to these toxotes. Might even want to pull some villagers. Eery is making that second one. I guess he can still retreat to this wood line. That's a lot of idle time though. 24 villagers. It's 2/3 of his economy just walking around here. Of course, in one of the recent patches, Norse guard towers do bonus damage versus range. Something the dev team incorporated to try and help Norse deal with ranged units. Pickaxe coming out for Eery. Yeah, Orange is just because he has no food, he's only stuck making toxotes. We see even another guard tower for Eery on these back resources. Soon Orange is gonna have nowhere to gather from. Meanwhile, the throwing axeman count for Eery is just getting more and more. Eery even throwing down some walls around this guard tower to defend it from the melee units. His army is out of position. Orange is able to take out this guard tower pretty quickly. Allow his villagers to gather from this wood line again. Meanwhile, Eery pushing in closer and closer on this side. So he did get his second down center. And look at this location. It'll take a while for Oranges to find that one. This town center is actually able to destroy some of these guard towers. So this one storehouse will spot this guard tower, but Orange is completely unaware of these. He's got to be getting a little bit discouraged with his constant harassment from these guard towers. The Greek people must be demoralized here. So yeah, it's not looking good for Oranges. 51 villagers to the 43. Yeah, that little bit of inactivity from his villagers really put him behind. He's got 24 Toxotes, but these just 6 guard towers here will clean these guys up so quick. Does not want to fight in range of these guard towers, but he's kind of forced to. He's getting some good volleys off. Eery could do a better job at trying to target down these ranged units. Actually, I think that upgrade that the towers get bonus damage versus range only it's like a ghost tech that Norse gets once he reaches the Silver Age. I believe that's how it works. Now it's only bonus for ships, but once it gets to the Silver Age, this should change to bonus versus range. Unless it was changed, of course. Got some pack of warhounds here. So Eery actually did get the upgrade for them. Starting to make some stables. And get those raiders to try and counter these Toxotes. Well, I kind of like this play from Oranges. He knows he can't really defend his home position here. Trying to just maybe force Eery to pull back with his army. I think Eery will take a base trade any day. He's got a lot more infantry than Oranges. He's just gonna attack move right in the main base of Oranges. Look how fast his town center is going down. Just throwing some defensive guard towers at home. Like those 2 guard towers honestly might be enough just to protect his home base. Orange is probably desperately wishing he had those other units here to help hold this. No real villagers here for Oranges to raid. Loading a lot of resources. Yeah, these raiders are just cleaning up this little army of Oranges. Oranges doesn't want to give up though. This is potentially his last game. Could be getting knocked down to the losers bracket, yeah. Jeez, so Eery actually able to sweep poor Oranges here. And that was quite the game 3. Gotta love those Norse guard towers. Let's have a look at the stats. Yeah, so Oranges is not officially eliminated from the tournament. Of course, once you make it into the playoffs, it's double elimination. So he's going to go down to the losers bracket. He still has one more chance to make it to the finals. Let's have a look at the stats here. Eery and Zerdan, if you guys are in the chat, you guys are up. So sooner you get into the game, sooner we can get your series started. Tech wise, yeah, fairly even villagers. Eery had slight lead. Yeah, once those towers started being built, it was hard for Oranges to keep up. Yeah, Eery just outmassed Oranges here. Yeah, I think the pacifist would have been good for Oranges, but he was having that food crisis. At the time, the only real units you can make were Toxodi.